Understanding the tricks to installing CPQ can be the success or failure of your project. Join Ray as they walk through CPQ installation steps and how to avoid common mistakes. Welcome to 100 Days of Trailhead, where the tech community comes to learn Salesforce, learn tech, get inspired, and invest in ourselves. We are your trail guides, here to support you on your learning journey. We release videos weekly. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a video. In the description below, you can find links for everything we mention in this video, as well as books and resources we found useful. Visit our blog, 100daysoftrailhead.com, for other helpful Salesforce and tech content. When working with CPQ, the installation of the application has to be done with care so you don't get miscalculations in the future or the inability to scale your architecture. Ray will explain what CPQ is, how it can be used in your organization, and provide tips around installation and what mistakes they made that you can avoid. Ray is a Salesforce admin at Bitwise Industries. They have 2 years of experience in the Salesforce ecosystem, in which they use that experience to develop a beginner CPQ course, teaching 40-plus BIPOC students Salesforce CPQ and how to break through tech. BIPOC stands for Black, Indigenous, People of Color. When Ray is not working in tech, they are volunteering in agricultural fields, working towards their BA in biology, and actively advocating equal rights for LGBTQIA+, BIPOC, Indigenous, disability, and BIPOC women in STEM communities through volunteering and advocating in communities.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Ray Sage, and I am a guest here on 100 Days of Trailhead. I am a Salesforce admin with 2 years experience, and earlier on in my Salesforce career, I was working heavily with CPQ as a junior. And through that experience, I learned a lot from past mistakes and had exposure with the different ways that Salesforce CPQ can benefit organizations, which is why we're here today. I want to pass down the knowledge of my experience to those who are interested in learning CPQ or adding it to their current orgs, so that you don't have to make the same mistakes that I did and have an easy and adaptable way of installing CPQ. Additionally, by the end of this presentation, I hope that you all have a clear understanding of what CPQ is and use these tips to explore the endless ways CPQ can serve you for success. Also, I do have a Twitter account that you all are more than welcome to follow. I post different Salesforce tips and educational resources over there, and it is indigenous_tech. And also be sure to follow 100 Days of Trailhead on all social media platforms. So before we jump into my personal 5 tips, I do want to briefly explain what Salesforce CPQ is for those who may not be aware of this powerful feature. So from the Salesforce help site itself, they quote, "Salesforce CPQ is a software by Salesforce that stands for configure, price, and quote. It is a sales tool for companies to provide accurate pricing with any given product configuration scenario. CPQ applications take into account optional features, customizations, quantities, and discounts, allowing sales reps to quote prices quickly and accurately. So this feature itself is going to assist with closing opportunity deals faster and have a clean and organized sales handoff process. This feature is so powerful and useful for departments to track their contracts, amendments, assets, services, revenue, and invoices. And with all of that endless ways users can build off this feature, it can become exciting and liberating. So much so that we may find ourselves quickly jumping into it without considering the following tips. So let's review them. So the first tip I have is staying up to date on the latest releases that CPQ presents. So just like most Salesforce features and releases, things are constantly changing, and that includes the CPQ package undergoing changes. Users will usually report feedback and log support tickets to Salesforce, which helps them identify what they could do to implement changes into the package that would make it more of a powerful and useful tool for both the users and specialists. A lot of the times, Salesforce will announce these changes on a few different platforms, ranging from Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, but most importantly, you will always find these release announcements on steelbrick.com. On this slide, I linked 2 sources that we could take a look at, which will help you stay up to date with these release announcements. So this first link right here is the Salesforce help on the package installation links to upgrade and install Salesforce CPQ and Salesforce billing. So let's go and navigate towards it. And while we wait for it to load, so this site is not only going to provide you with the actual Steelbrick link for the package itself right here, it is also going to walk you through the procedures located right here for after you install the package into your org. This is super helpful because before, when I was installing the package as a junior, there wasn't a walkthrough of what to adjust in the package setting. So a lot of it was testing those settings on your own and discovering what each of those settings do to familiarize yourself with it. So now let's take a look at the Steelbrick site itself and check out the latest package. So here we have the trusted Salesforce site where you can access the latest versions of the CPQ package. You can also access additional features that would assist making the CPQ package more powerful, like advanced approvals, DocuSign, and billing. And what's really cool about this site is you could take a sneak peek at some of the upcoming releases. So let's go and look at those. So here we have these upcoming releases and changes that they have in store. You can see the latest versions, the instances, the schedule, and the status of when they're going to be released. Another cool thing that you can see is the recent releases. And this is going to tell you what were some of the things that didn't make the cut. So it'll have the name, the instances, the status, and when. Lastly, installing the package was made so simple that you can choose which environment we're wanting to install it in. And from there, we can log in and get started. So you can either install it in a production org or in a sandbox org. Also, additionally, we have the release notes for each of the package versions. So if we click into it, we could see what was fixed in the package along with additional links to the version patches. So let's see. So yeah, we could see the different bugs here and which was fixed. We could see what resolved the issues and the work IDs for it. My second tip when installing CPQ into your org is understanding who this benefits. Multiple departments in your organization are going to be engaging with the feature. So it's really important to decipher what benefits come from those departments' engagements. For example, your revenue and sales team are definitely going to be engaging with the opportunities, products, quotes, and contracts. So identifying those areas of use as benefits will help you figure out the best architecting for configuration to meet your team's needs. Additionally, departments like stakeholders, CEOs, or higher ups are also going to be observing those deals coming through and monitoring the contracts so that they can use the approval process to include any additional details like discounts to their services. Having those details clearly laid out for that department would benefit them to keep track of things like quarterly growth. And by monitoring those benefits for each department, it will help build your team's excitement for what's to come with installing Salesforce CPQ. The third tip that I have for installing CPQ is do not rush the architect process. With all the excitement CPQ can bring, it can be easy to crunch in those timelines for configuration builds to quickly get into using Salesforce CPQ. But the problem you face with quick architecting is coming up with temporary solutions that miss the ability to grow from those configurations. You become stuck with your current build that when you are ready to expand, it is more difficult and you are facing burning yourself out to meet the newer requirements that come with change. Instead, take your time to sit with your team and departments and hear out some of the different things that they wish they had when CPQ becomes available. Use that knowledge to also speak with stakeholders on future ideas they may have, so that when you are configuring in CPQ, you are thinking of the current needs as well as the future needs. And additionally, like any other Salesforce build, let user testing be accessible throughout the process. By having users test the architect build, you are able to capture new ideas that would benefit the build to ensure departments are processing through each other with no difficulties. My fourth tip for installing CPQ goes hand in hand with tip 3, and that is organizing your price books and products. We just talked about not rushing through the architect process, and believe it or not, the biggest thing I've found organizations struggling with is keeping their price books and products in CPQ clean, organized, and working properly. When you become more familiar with CPQ, you will notice that each product is connected to a price book that implements their prices and any discounts on the quote line that goes into your sales quotes. Most commonly, users will bundle products together that have different pricing add-ons to them and accidentally upcharge the bundles, which will upset many consumers and higher-ups. This is because their price books and products are not organized and configured properly. So before making any decisions of how to add your products and connect them to their price books, consider how it will affect the quoting and contracting process beforehand. And last but not least, my fifth tip, which is taking a moment to really study the package. Aside from the Steelbrick website displaying all the package information, there are other sites that you can use to really familiarize yourself with Salesforce CPQ. I've included those sources here in this slide. And the first one is a Trailhead mix that I personally created, which is open to the public, and it is called Salesforce CPQ Learning. So I'm going to navigate over there real quick. Oops, let's go. While it loads again. So I have added different modules to this trail mix that goes over the different configurations you can do within Salesforce CPQ to really familiarize yourself with the things that come in the package, like its fields, objects, and more. I highly recommend going through this mix and discovering the amazing things that you can do within the Salesforce CPQ atmosphere. The second link that I included, which I already have opened, I'm going to navigate over there. This basically goes over the different configurations you can do within Salesforce CPQ to familiarize yourself with things that come in the package, like its fields, objects, again, and it also will help you kind of navigate the different guidelines and instructions that will assist your configuration experience once you've installed the package. And as for my final source, which is my personal favorite, I'm going to go back to our little presentation. This is kind of like a newer thing that Salesforce has offered, and it's asking a Salesforce CPQ expert webinar. So they will be hosting different webinars with a Salesforce employee who is specialized in CPQ to help train up users and customers on how to properly use the package and tools that come with it. I've personally attended a few of these webinars and took away so much useful knowledge that I was able to use in different use cases. So I 100% recommend that. But yeah, with all that being said, thank you so much for tuning in and listening to my top 5 tips that I have for installing CPQ into your Salesforce orgs. I hope that you use this knowledge for greatness and achieve wonderful things in your CPQ journey. Don't forget to follow my Twitter and follow 100 Days of Trailhead on social media, along with subscribing to their YouTube page. Until next time.
If you found this content helpful, we would really appreciate it if you subscribe to our channel and like this video. It really helps us a lot. And with that, we're at the end. What have you found challenging about CPQ? How did you overcome the challenge? Comment below. We would also love to hear what video topics you want us to cover in future videos in the comments. If you've made it up to this point, we want to take an opportunity to say thank you. Since you stayed with us, here's a bonus tip. CPQ can be an empowering tool to redefine the way you process sales in Salesforce. When preparing for the CPQ certification exam gets lots of hands-on experience. This is known to be a tough exam, but with lots of experience and lots of studying, you can clear this exam. Go for it. Thank you for spending time with us. Please like and subscribe to our channel because we share weekly content to support your tech and Salesforce learning journey. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss a new video. We also handpick these videos which we recommend you watch next. Connect with us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and on 100daysoftrailhead.com, all of which are listed below. Thank you for learning with us, and we'll see you back tomorrow.